It's about upfront work versus not. Like splitting a diagram into multiple main diagrams, that is the more work invested upfront tactic, which applies to certain games. As for how do you know when it's worth doing that or not? Part of it's a matter of practice, but there are a couple of guideposts I can give you. One of them is that if you see the same variable featured in multiple rules, that suggests that that variable is especially important and that you could combine those rules in some way to make a major inference or place that particular variable in a couple of different positions and then see what else results from that. So, for example, if we had the rule that A and B are a consecutive block and there were only 5 slots in the game, you could make a couple different main diagrams, A and B on 1 and 2, on 2 and 3, on 3 and 4, or on 4 and 5. Then if we also learned that B is before C, that would tell you that, well, A and B can't be on 4 and 5 because C has to go afterwards. So A and B would be limited to slots 1 and 2, 2 and 3, or 3 and 4. That's a great candidate for making multiple main diagrams. Just draw out each of those 3 options, draw C in around them, and you've got a lot of the game figured out. So blocks are a good indicator. The same variable in multiple rules is also a good indicator, especially when you consider how that variable relates or those rules relate to the other rules in the game, further limiting possibilities so that the scope of possible options is narrowed significantly from what it may have seemed at the outset. Now, these won't be fleshed out entirely. And maybe if you have 3 main diagrams, one is fleshed out 80% and the other 2 are only 60% filled in. That's still useful though, because then when you're drawing new hypotheticals later in the game, you have much less to work out. So you have to be okay with a certain degree of uncertainty, but still know that having it fleshed out partially is better than nothing, and it could speed up things for you a lot over the course of the game. Thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already to be notified of new episodes as I release them, and feel free to reach out if you need anything at all as you move forward with your prep. I'm happy to help however I can. In the meantime, I'll wish you all the best and take care.